Peace and love, y'all. It's your brother A.D.V.I.S.S here with another episode and installment of more interviews, aka memoirs of our real experiences. And for today's more interview, we have Mya B, who is a award-winning filmmaker as well as an activist, here to talk about her new Kickstarter project, Finals, a short film to again show y'all and share not only her thoughts but other things that's happening and going on. So I appreciate her coming up in here again. Mya B, and her at and Instagram is at shoot films not peeps. So as we're doing this interview, you guys are more than welcome to add your own commentary. If you have questions, please share the questions, put them in the comments. But other than that, I see that she's pulled up, so I'm gonna pop her in here and we are going to get this interview. But I hope all is well with y'all as we are doing a thing. Yo, how are you doing?
Fine, how are you?
Living and learning as best as I
I
can.
feel you.
Yes. So again, y'all, thank you for showing up and also coming to share on this more interviews. For those folks who are popping in, thank you
Yes.
for coming in, showing in. This is more interviews, aka memoirs of our real experiences, and we're here today to talk with Mya B and not only get to know a bit of Mya B and what she does, but also her film, Kickstarter, etc. So as we're going through the interview, y'all are more than welcome to throw questions in there. We're not gonna keep it as long, but again, this is just so you guys can get into the mind of an award-winning filmmaker and etc. stuff. So before we
Thanks for
start,
having me.
no problem. Before we start, is there any questions, comments, concerns that you would like to share to people? Maybe start off with any things that you thought is necessary to share.
Um, Not right now.
Okay. No, that's fine. That is fine. All right, y'all. Again, throw comments down in there if y'all have any questions. But as we get this started, for those who do not know you, it's their first time being introduced to you, as well as myself.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about yourself and your background.
Okay, so let me see. I'm from Chicago originally, born and raised. Went to Columbia College, is a lot. For film school, I started off as a writer because
Mm,
writing in high school and growing up from poetry to fiction writing, that was always like something that allowed me to escape. So I went in at first for writing. My mom
mm,
like, it would be the perfect college for you. And I would say second year into fiction writing program, I switched over to film
mm, mm.
to be able to tell the stories the way that I saw it. That was the initial thing, right? So as time progressed, I made a few documentaries. My first documentary, once I moved to New York, and I was around a lot of creative people. I did my first documentary, Shoot Films, Not People. Thank you, Henry, for the hair. And that was about Black female sexuality.
Mm.
The reason for that documentary was because I always wondered why my mom always talked to my brother about sex, but not me. Like, I didn't get the talks. I
Yeah,
didn't even get the talks about when you get this certain age, this is what will happen. It was like the most embarrassing moment when I got my period. And I just felt like my mom should have prepared me for that,
yeah,
but she didn't. But she always had these candid conversations with my brother. So it became more like a quest. Like, why is this something just in my household or is this common? And through the
mm,
documentary, I realized that in the Black community, sex then it ain't taboo now because everybody's talking about things like things that I would never tell the public, but it's just everything is just up in the air right now. But back then we didn't talk like that. We didn't have those conversations like that. So especially our parents. So it was like very like shielded and
yeah,
protected. So once I interviewed women, I found out that that was the commonality. Like nobody really talked to us. It was very rare. Like maybe 10% of the women I talked to
yeah.
had those conversations. And then after I did that documentary, it was like people like, oh, so when you gonna do one about men? When you gonna do one about men? And I would say 7 years passed must be some 7 year thing.
Yeah.
And I decided to do a documentary about Black men. That's Afraid of Dark.
Yeah.
But Afraid of Dark to me is dear to my heart as well, because during that time, a year before I started shooting, well, actually, when I started shooting, Trayvon Martin got murdered.
Mm.
And I just remember going to Union Square in New York, and they had like this big protest about Trayvon Martin, and just being really active in those marches and those protests about Trayvon Martin. And I started filming some of it. So the film, yeah, just it. I started filming in 2007, and I believe Trayvon happened in what, 2012
Yeah,
maybe.
2012.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I just started thinking about Black men in terms of like the first film dealt with female stereotypes, analyzing the Mammy, Sapphire, Jezebel,
Yeah.
all these roles that you see. You still see it in the media now. It's more Jezebel. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Images, but then we had all these images, in the media. So it was like analyzing those. And this one, the film Afraid of Dark, analyzed male stereotypes: the Mandingo, which is over sexualized Black man, and the Brute, which is the angry, violent Black man. So I basically started off with the Trayvon Martin being murdered, that phone
Mm.
call. And from there, I profiled so many Black men who have been killed by those stereotypes, you know. And also, I interviewed my brother. I have a son, so it was like very dear to me to do that film. And it was a 7 year journey to like pull that film together.
Wow.
Some really great interviews. Um, you know, my friend Inf helped me film it a lot of the filming he helped me with, just going around interviewing people. I interviewed Dr. Cornel West. I
Ooh.
interviewed Tom Burrell. I interviewed Malik Yoba. I interviewed Sadat from Brand Nubians. It is so many amazing men that I interviewed, as well as just, Black men just in this world surviving from the ages of 18 on up.
Yeah.
So those were two projects that was dear to me. So now, 7 years later, like I said, it's something about the 7 years. I am venturing out. I moved to LA 7 years ago, and I feel like
Mm.
since
Mm.
I've been here, I haven't really felt that creative. Like I have been, like I moved here for screenwriting, right? So I said I'm gonna move to LA. I'm gonna master this screenwriting, and I'm pulling away from filming. This is what I told myself.
Mm.
Um, and it's been a great journey writing. I've been in several writers groups. I'm almost there with the writing, get the notes back and get finalists, but it's still very stagnant. So this year I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of people waiting on people to green like me. It's time for me, since I'm a writer and a filmmaker. Documentaries are great, but I've always been in my head of I love movies.
Yeah.
So, like it's time for me to take the chance and just make a short film, because I know I can do it. So this is the project now. Finals is that project. It's a
Mm.
short film, but it is my way of walking into doing my own shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
not waiting. I didn't wait for the documentary, so I had so many scripts. So I'm like, let me start small. Next,
Yes.
go to the feature and just roll like that. And whoever appreciates it, they do, and whoever don't, I can't care. But it's something that I have to do, because I feel like the film aspect was what coming together, making something is what is dear to me. Even with
Mm.
it's just how even how I met my friend Logic is we made films together. You know what I'm
Shouts out
saying?
to Ja.
Yeah, so it's like I miss that aspect of it, and being in a new city. Well, I'm not new so much, but still, like people here, they don't know me, they don't know my work, they know the brand Shoot Films, not people.
Yeah.
They don't know the other things. So it's time for me to step out on faith and do this film. So that's where I'm at now. I've been an educator for over 20 years. I was
Oh
teaching
wow.
in New York. I was teaching preschool special ed. I was a teaching artist, teaching film, working with kids. doing music videos, producing their videos that they wanted to do. It always music videos. They always, I tried to teach them the audition process, because you can be a good actor, but in these streets, you got to audition. Even Denzel sometimes still got to audition. So you got to audition. So I tried to get them into that process. Let's write a script together. It was mostly me with a little, let's do this.
Yeah.
But I was trying to show them the process of writing a script and then auditioning for it. If you're good, you get the part. So we was doing stuff like that. But it was either they wanted to make a horror film or a music video. And I just rolled with it. I was like, come on, let's do it. And that was a great experience. So that's been my journey as a Maya.
Mm,
Yeah.
wow. I I really do appreciate you sharing a lot of that, and it's very uncanny that it started off with not only just the writing, but you was doing with the poetry and things of sorts, and then just made your way into the more of the visual aspects of it. So
Yeah.
I have some questions for you. One of them I want to like have us go backtrack way back when in childhood, but before I do
Okay.
that one, I'm also curious to know like overall what inspired you to start making films, and I'll just leave it at that first one.
Well, both my parents were film fanatics. Like
Mm,
my okay, so my parents were divorced, but my mom, we always watch movies together. Exorcist, I know, like, was the first film that I just remember watching and being terrified. But even though I was terrified and I was young, I was between the ages of 3 to 5. I just remember that.
wow.
And that film just stuck with me. Well, of course it's gonna stick with you. Shit was scary as hell. Um, but also my father would pick us up on the weekends, me and my brother, and on Fridays it was routine for us to always watch a movie and get pizza. Pizza party. And I
Mm,
kind of like did that with my son too. On Friday nights, we're going to the movies, we're eating pizza. That was just like a family thing because it reminded me of my dad growing up. And yeah, so I think the love of film with them
yeah.
was what pivoted me into um, being passionate about film, you know.
Okay.
Um, and I think writing, when I talk to other writers, it's like we're so like, I think we write everything. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
I'm not just a screenwriter. Like I said, I had when I was younger, at 17, I had a zine,
Oh wow.
a magazine, and I had it in several stores in Chicago, and it was called Burning Ovaries.
Mm.
Yeah, and it was my take on um, feminism from my perspective, and it was a lot, and I had it in stores, but I think that I just got overwhelmed with it because making a zine back then was like going to a printer, a copy shop, and just copying papers, stapling it, coloring it, very creative,
Yes.
artistic. And I think I was charging $2 for it, and it was on consignment. I would leave copies with different stores, and that that was me writing and putting it out there in the world. I was entering poetry competitions. I made this book that was very morbid, that's still not published, but it was called The and it just dealt with
Mm.
heartbreak. It's like 30 pages of morbid poems. This is when I was in high school. So I was always a writer. That's why my mom, when she found Columbia, she was like, this would be the perfect school for you. And I thought that I wanted to be a fiction writer.
Yeah.
And yeah, for 2 years of writing. And I actually wrote a memoir that I tried to get published, but it didn't go anywhere. And
Mm.
yeah, so I've always loved films. And I said, well, why not? Why not write them? So.
Beautiful. And then in that point of the interest being early and young, and then making your way to where you are now, like at what point in between those lines of not only just the writing, the poems, the zines, that you decided to take filmmaking and creating your art like seriously?
Um, yeah, it's been a journey because I would say I'm getting emotional because I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
Appreciate you being open.
Yeah. I don't know why I always crown podcasts. It's so weird. But I think about my family. Both my parents aren't here anymore.
Mm. Rest with the universe.
Yeah. Um, when you think you're over that, I'm not.
Yeah.
um, but when my mom passed, I was a single parent.
Yeah.
And I was by myself a lot.
Mm.
And when I moved to New York, my mom was still alive, but she transitioned when I was 29.
Mm.
And I had to raise my son by myself with no help. I had no help from nobody, no family members, nothing. It was really my friends that helped me with my son once I moved to New York.
Yeah.
Um, so I couldn't really, I feel like I couldn't really take it as serious as I wanted to because I had a child.
Yeah.
Um, that's where the teaching came in. I was like, trying to be, my mother would say, you know, have something to fall back on and all this stuff. And teaching became that because it allowed me to be with my son.
Yeah.
Um, I would say when I moved to LA as a writer, that's when I really became serious about this is something I wanted to do. And it took it took a while to do it because my son was grown at that point. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? My son is like now 25 and it's like, now I could do me.
Yeah.
um Now I could um and even when I was making these films, I feel like my son was always with me, you know, through
Yes.
making Silence, through making Afraid of Dark. He was always there to even the point like late nights, he going to school late, you know what I'm saying? He not going to school the next morning because I'm up filming or I'm editing and things like that. So maybe I feel like I took it serious, but now more serious is like I'm not waiting on anybody to greenlight me anymore. Like I've moved into Hollywood was that I feel like, ooh, I'm gonna move to Hollywood and I'm gonna be a writer and this and that. And I feel like back then it might have been easier to do that. And really this system is all about who you know. It really
Yes.
is. Because when you look, and not to say that people are not talented, I do not want to come across as saying that, but when you think about, I know you've seen shitty movies on Netflix, and you like, how did this even get on here? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've read scripts that I'm like, okay, and they're having a problem with mine. And I think that even being a woman, a black woman, because I'm not going to say a woman of color, because them
Yeah.
terms to me even sound like colored back in the day.
Yep.
But that's just in my head. Um, but being a black woman and depending on an industry that is not, yes, is diverse. You know how many times I send out scripts and they're like, even with the dialogue
Yeah.
of urban talking, they don't get it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm not changing the way the people speak for you because this is how they talk.
Yeah.
They talk like me.
Yeah.
And I'm not proper English. I don't have proper English. And I'm not trying to be because I'm from Chicago and you know what I'm saying? I'm a black woman and I don't
Yeah.
have to be what they want me to be in that box. Um, but yeah, certain things you got to have in the script, and I've adjusted a lot. You know, I write in the Hollywood format, the
Yeah.
structure, all the beats and things like that. And I just keep doing it. But yeah, finals is my testament basically to myself that I could do it and I could create my own content and create my own lane. And the time is now because I'm not getting any younger and I have all these scripts.
Yeah.
So I might as well put together a team that I'm going to trust. And I feel like with even shooting this film, being in LA, I will, God willing, have a team that when it's time to do the next piece, this is the team that I have from the production manager down to the casting down to the DP, you
Yeah.
know, this is who I'm gonna rock with. Because in New York, I mean, I rocked with Logic. I rocked with my friend Inf, you know, and I felt like I didn't have that coming to LA. You
Yeah.
know, I don't. So it's like building up a new world, you know. So, and I think that, you know, being a brand shoot films now,
Yeah.
people always be like, well, what films have you made? You know, what are you doing now?
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's genuine or are they just because that's some LA shit. I don't know if it's being genuine or is it really some LA stuff. But yeah, I've always been a filmmaker and a writer before an apparel
Parent pay.
brand.
Yeah.
You know, the apparel brand is a spinoff of that. You know, so yeah,
I think it's I think it's the area because there are a lot of curious people walking around, but at the same time, it depends on what area you're in. Because I know there's folks in LA that love to share their credentials every day. So if you're in their lane, they're like, okay, so what you doing in that lane? And like, so it can come off that particular way, but it just really depends the area and who you're talking
yeah.
to.
That's the question, though. It's like in New York and even in Chicago, it's more like people get to know you for
Yeah,
who you are. You meet people genuinely, you know. Here it's like, hi, what do you do? It's
yep,
like, damn, y'all don't, you know, it's that first initial, so what do you do? And then it's like, are you want to know what I would do to connect with me on a real, or are you wanting to know what I do so you could try to, I don't know.
yeah.
But it's
Networking is a different beast out here. Yes,
yes,
it is.
it is. So I'm like, and I'm not the best at it, honestly,
Mm,
because I'm just not. I'm not the best at it. I try to be,
yes.
but I'm not the best at it.
Whatever you've noticed when you were in Chicago and New York and how you built relationships with people there, those are signs I would definitely say or skills to take when doing it now. Because I don't know a number of times, and this is just an offset, a number of times where I've been to places and I've just like I've been doing camera. I do a number of stuff now, but I've like taken the camera and then there's people just coming up like, oh yeah, did it, and they're just shooting me their credentials, telling me this, saying, oh, let's connect and do that. And the first thing I'm like, I don't even know what's your Instagram. What is this? Like you shooting everything out to me, but I don't even know you like that yet. Let's get working. Let's do that. It's just a lot of empty promises to show that they're in the know, but at the same time they're not. So it's
That's
in the best.
promises. Because let me tell you, doing this Kickstarter,
Yeah.
look, all them people that said that, I done hit them up. Okay,
Mm,
hey, what up? Yeah, so it is a lot of empty promises and talk, but whatever. I mean, I'm here for it. So
we look, it's all a learning process. It
yeah.
is. It is. All right. Like I said, I was gonna run it back on you to go way back when and get some more of the origin stories. But question I have for you is, who was Mya B growing up as a child?
Oh, Mya B was a terror. No, I'm playing. I'm from Chicago.
Mm,
Chicago don't hold back. It really
understood.
don't. It doesn't hold back. It toughens you up, and then you move to New York. It kicks you another hole
Mm,
that you thought you had. But Chicago is a place where, and I love Chicago. Don't get me wrong. Growing up was so fun as a
yeah.
kid. But the teenage years were very challenging because if you do not fit the mold of what
Mm,
people want you to be, you fighting for no reason. I mean, the fights, and luckily I had a brother because a lot of these fights would be with dudes in my mouth. I always had a mouth on me. And soon as they try to hit me, I go home, be like, Ali, this dude tried to fight me. And then my brother come beat him up. Um, But yeah, I was the explorer. I was all over the city.
mm,
The funny thing about Maya Baker, or at the time Maya Howard, was Baker is my married last
yeah.
name,
Got you.
but Maya Howard was a skateboarder. Maya Howard was a look. I even had a freestyle bike that I forced my mama to buy.
Oh,
That bike was $400. My mother was so mad that she got me this bike, But when I was in 8th grade, I had linked up with some freestylers and I was like, I'm gonna do it. I want the same bike. I'm gonna be doing all these stunts on the bike. Setting up, doing all these cherry pickers. Da, 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 da.
Yes.
That didn't last long because once I went to Gary, Indiana with my bike, had to
Yeah.
bring the bike. I was doing all these tricks on the bike with my cousin. We went in to get something from the restaurant, I think a drink, and they
Oh,
stole
your
my bike.
bike. Yeah.
I was so mad. I
Yeah.
was kicking her bike because her shit was still there. I was so mad. My mother was like, "Well, you're not getting another bike. That's over." So, yeah, I was the type. I mean, I listened to punk music, so I felt
Hmm.
like I was always Afro punk before Afro punk
Was a
became
thing.
Afro punk. I was listening to Bad Brains, listening to back then Morrissey, Depressing, Depeche Mode, Nine Inch Nails, all these things, and I would go to this club called Medusa. So I've always been a free spirit. Let me say that I've always been a free spirit. I've always been a rule breaker with intention.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and my own person. I think that as I got older and things happened to me, maybe my voice changed. Like maybe I felt like my mouth would hurt people. I
Mm.
think before I say stuff, and a lot of times I feel like that silenced my voice of actually saying what I really wanted to say. But people that know me know that I don't hold back, but I'm also a shy person.
Hmm.
You know, it takes me a while to warm up to people. But yeah, so I've always been adventurous. I was in the Peace Corps for 2 years. Right
Okay.
after college, I went to the Peace Corps in Dominica, and that was a really challenging experience because I was somewhere out the country for the first time,
Mm.
um, with culture that I didn't know and language I didn't know. So that was hard. But yeah, that was me.
Wow.
I'm for adventure. Yeah.
And it makes, to me, it starts to piece together the picture very, very well with, not only what drives you, but also gaining a lot of experiences to not only have something to write about, but to be able to share and really speak with your voice.
Mm.
So with that being said, because of all the places and things that you've been and you've done, I'm curious to know as well as, because I got to see some of the other films that you have too, is so who are like your influences when it comes to writing in films?
Um, Writing, I would say I read a lot of scripts.
Okay.
But my thing is, I've always been into horror films because that's how I started off with my mom and my
The
dad.
X, yeah.
Um, I would say films. I mean, I grew up with Spike Lee and John Singleton. That
John, yeah.
going to film school, that's who we studied. But also Mira Nair, I think she's amazing.
Okay.
Um, I always like to work. I like Ava's work. I like John Cassavetes, and these are old people.
Yeah.
Jim Jarmusch. I mean, these are people that made me want to know about the film process.
Mm.
Um, and a lot of them are not. Well, Mira is still
There
around.
still.
John Cassavetes, I believe, passed.
Okay.
Jim Jarmusch, I still love his look and everything. I've always loved David Lynch. I think he's weird. I think he's dope. He's just weird, and I love it.
Mm.
It's just weird. Of course, Robert Townsend. I mean,
Robert
Hollywood
Townsend.
Shuffle. I mean, I watch that like damn near every week. You know.
Mm.
Um, I'm gonna say the old school people are really my heroes at that point. Um, I remember yeah, it's just even the brother that did Love Jones and
Mm.
all of those films are like classic, but they're not like in this time. I guess I'm stuck in
Yes.
that time period. Today I would say,
Oh, Theodore Witcher. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I think that was his only film, right? Love Jones, was it?
I believe so. I'm over here since I'm over here cheating, y'all, and looking stuff up. Let's see
Be
on
like, is there
here.
gonna be a Love Jones too? Yeah.
So he's known for Love Jones, Body Count, and De So
Hmm.
he's done look right here for right now on this is on IMDb. He has four.
I don't know if I saw body count.
Yeah. Let me yeah. So Body Count's on here. And another one he has a TV series that says Games People Play.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So more recent stuff. So he had two in the late 90s and now he has two of them in the 2020s.
That is
Yes.
amazing.
But the two that he's doing in the 2020s are TV show series.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of film directors have pivoted over to TV now.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah,
And I
say
like
so.
I do love a lot of shows, and I mean, I would even throw Issa in there, but it's not film; it's more TV.
Yeah.
Um, there's a lot of TV, like even the TV show. What was the TV show that it got canceled after one season? Lovecraft Country. That
Oh,
that was like amazing writing. That was an amazing show, and I knew in my heart that wasn't gonna stay on. It was very revolutionary, and I
I
loved it.
I've heard I had the book and I was reading through the book. I didn't get to like see it even the first seasons and stuff of it, but from what you just said and then what others were telling me, I had a feeling that it wasn't going to try to make it was going to see the light of day for another season.
Yeah, yeah. So,
But okay, I love it.
yeah, in a
Well, what
nutshell,
yes. So if we were to then if you had to do like your pitch or telling people especially, your art, your style, how you film, and etc. How would you describe your filmmaking style, even if you had to do it in one phrase?
I'm experimental.
Mm,
With this film, I've been planning my shots of how I wanted it to look and what I wanted to feel like,
yes.
look and feel. Um, because it deals with a school shooting, I want it to feel like dark, but I think I want to experiment with camera shots. That's where the DP is gonna
Mm,
come in, best friend. Um, and I'm wondering if I could be more creative and experimental with the school shooting per se. For instance, I was watching what's the movie that Equalizer 3,
oh.
and I love the way Antoine Fuqua shot it in terms of like when people died.
Mm,
For example,
mm,
like somebody would get shot and then you would see the statue splatter with blood. So I feel like because I'm dealing with kids, I don't want to be so gory.
yeah.
I have to remember to be sensitive to people watching it. So I'm not trying to like just have kids just being pelted
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. Let the
I want
bodies hit
to
the floor and stuff.
yeah, I want to do it creatively, like shot maybe to the posters that be in the classrooms,
Yes.
blood on the, like that. So that's how I've been seeing it in my head play out. Maybe even when you step into it, then you see a sea of bodies, but in the gunshots, but you don't really see the kids being hit. Because I think that I'm not trying to traumatize people. My whole mission in this is because it's an indictment on society as a whole to
Yeah.
show how all these are all things that we could prevent. But I mean, even in school, like I said, I've been a teacher for a
Yes.
long time, and I've seen kids bullied, and I'm like, why? There needs to be more intervention with that.
Yes.
I mean, because I know teachers know, parents know, and usually bullied kids, the statistics are they become school shooters. I don't know. Those are the statistics that's out there. So
Understood.
yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's very important that you're speaking on this because with not only the emergence of, mental health being a thing, but also since COVID passed and having students come back and get themselves readjusted, there's a lot of students who were dealing with a lot of things at home, and then they have access to a lot of this stuff, and
Yeah.
it gets to a point where they really feel like they got to express it a different way because they're getting bullied about something. Honestly, emergence of parents being able to do certain activities that can be seen on the internet, then those kids get bullied for them seeing their parents do this stuff on the internet. It just adds to not only the cyberbullying, but then it's just like, okay, what are my outlets? If I'm going back home and like I'm on my phone all day and night just scrolling and not really physically doing anything else, like after a while, it's like, what do I do with that pent up either rage, depression, whatever it is? And unfortunately, sometimes that's the choice. So I think it's great that you bring in awareness to it because it's very important. I know in certain areas people will be like we shouldn't be worrying about that, but you never know because kids are still bringing weapons to school for a number of
Well, I
reasons.
think the thing too is that, we live in a very racist society.
Mm,
And fortunately, Black people, we always feel it the most. Um, my son was in high school in New York and they had metal detectors. Most of the high schools that I worked at had metal detectors. So, I mean, we profiling our kids and we're criminalizing them at
mm,
a young age.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But those metal detectors should be in those communities as well because,
yeah,
yeah, we don't have necessarily the school shootings per se. We got other things that we deal with. But yeah, they need to implement that there too.
yeah,
And I feel like I see that a lot. Like I feel like this is America is so racist and
mm,
so focused on black hate
mm,
even now that it's they, they allow all these things to happen
yeah,
because they missing it because they watching us. I mean, school shootings is like even when you think about Robb Elementary, that could have been totally prevented.
yeah,
All those children, those babies died because nobody gave a shit. You let that man walk into the school. You saw him walk into the school. What did you think he was gonna do? And all the cops that was out there did not stop him. Y'all, how do you sleep at night? It took a man that was off duty to leave after hearing it on the radio, wherever. I think his wife texted him and
mm,
said it's a school shooting in session right now. He left the barbershop and he went to the school. He's the one that took the damn person down. All them cops were afraid to approach him. All them cops let that man go in there and kill them kids. This is when I say it's an indictment on society as a whole
yeah,
because all this shit could be prevented. One, bullying could be and should be prevented. There's no way kids should go to school and be bullied. Why are you not stopping this? At
yeah,
home, you don't see the signs. You don't see that your child something's wrong with them. You know,
yeah,
it's things that we have to really we we can only blame the kids so much. A
yes,
lot of times people like to blame the parents. Oh, the parents was doing this, parents were doing that. Parents work, parents got a lot of things they deal with. I feel like it does take a village to raise a child, and that's what we have to go back to.
yes,
It is, if you see something, say something, try to intervene, try to talk to that child as a parent, as a teacher, let people know what's happening. Yes, we have incidents where crazy people come onto the campus and they do these things. But even when you think about it, these are kids that went to the school before,
yeah,
they have some attachment to this school, you know,
yes,
from back in the day. These are things that as a society we really have to think about because, yeah, maybe school shootings don't directly affect me, um, but it does because at the end of the day, we are all in this together. And it's a saying that Bob Marley said is when it rains on one housetop, like when the rain comes, it don't fall on one man's housetop. And
yeah,
that's the thing that we have to realize, like, just because I'm not experiencing gun violence right now, it doesn't
hmm,
mean that we as a whole shouldn't be concerned and
yeah,
activist against preventing it.
yes,
I think that a lot of times we don't give a shit unless it affects us
facts that,
directly. Like even my brand shoot films, my people, like I feel like it should be a bigger brand because everybody has been affected by gun violence on some scale, whether they know it or
Yes.
not. And when I do these 10 talks and I'm talking to people, random people about gun violence, it's them digging back to um, incidents that happened in their life that they probably pushed aside and don't remember until I asked them that. You know what I'm saying? How have you been affected by it? Because when you think about it, we all been affected by it in some shape or form, and it's not gonna just go away. It's
Yeah.
something that we have to address. So this is my way of addressing it through film, through writing, and also through my brand. And hopefully, it will spark conversations. It will get people to think. And as Shoot Films Not People Productions, I'm not
Yes.
gonna always make films that center around gun
Gun
violence,
violence.
but
Hmm.
I'm gonna try to, because even Afraid of Dark dealt with gun violence just in a different way because Tamir Rice was what 12, murdered by the police.
Yeah.
Trayvon Martin 17, murdered by the police. Emmett Till 13, murdered by the police. Tracy Crawford murdered by the police in Walmart.
Oh
Feliciano
yeah.
Castile murdered in the car
Hmm.
by the cop in front of his child and his girlfriend or wife at the time. And it's like sad that I know the names and we all know the names. When you think of Mike Brown, 17, 18 years old, murdered in the street, not even covered up for an hour. That was the reason why I did Afraid of Dark. And it deals with gun violence.
Mm,
The violence on black male bodies, you know,
mm,
and yeah, that I'm hurt by that. As a black person, I'm hurt by that. But as people, as humans, we should all be hurt by that.
mm.
It shouldn't even be about race. It People are dying,
Yes.
you know.
Yes.
Um, we all need to be concerned about that. I mean, I as a black person, I don't want to see that happening to white people. I don't want to see their children murdered in the street by police,
Yeah.
people that are supposed to serve and protect you that had never done that a day in their life. All they have done is terrorize black people in black communities.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not a fan of police. And then when you talk to the average black person, we're not, because what do they do to us? They terrorize us on a daily basis.
Mm,
You
mm,
know?
mm.
It's sad. You got all these people losing their lives on some BS, you know? So, yeah.
I will say this, and then I want to jump into a segment I like to call "Fun Questions," and then open the floor for you to speak about the film, and we continue the conversation as it goes.
Okay.
But this is just a telling of the overarching culture, just within, like you said, within the U.S. and how a lot of things that are not priority don't take priority, and when you have such an overarching culture that's only focused on certain things, everything else gets pushed to the side or it gets put into the dark to eventually it comes to the light and then wonder why it's such a big issue. It's because the culture in itself decided to continue to keep that stuff down and oppress it. So now it's like, well, it's blatantly in your face. What are you going to do about
Mm-hmm.
it now?
Yeah.
So, so I definitely feel you on that. A lot of it is stemming from the fact that one thing I've noticed in the culture right now is the lack of community and families. And it's hard for you to really build and get to know folks and to be able to connect and embrace on certain things if we don't take that time to build each other up. I know there's points where we can have our disagreements and we're not going to always be on the same accord 100%, but we know when it's go time.
Yeah.
But when it's not, that's what we're taking that time to make sure that everyone in the community, whoever has a place in the part, is doing what they need to do. And then with the overarching thing is just uplifting and, having morals, values, and those principles set. So it's so much easier to not just pass it down to the kids, but be able to keep a thriving community going. Cause that's where a lot of the core of society works from, is having that strong community and family. If we don't do that, we keep breaking it away
Yeah.
with this dysfunction and the toxicity. It's so much harder for people to worry about what's happening outside of them because we still worrying about what's going on with us.
Yeah. I feel like growing up though, I grew up in Chicago, and we had block parties. And
Mm.
block parties growing up were so fun, but it was also like us just being able to be kids and the parents getting together, organizing events and stuff like that. And it felt more like a community. And even like when I think about New York, because we're so close together, I felt like I felt like more inside of a community than a neighborhood. I feel like now a lot of times we live in a neighborhood, like right now I live in Hollywood. I don't know no damn people in this building. I might see people come out and say hi. It's like one sister, two sisters that I talk to. Hey, what's up? But it ain't no real deep conversations.
Yeah.
We don't know each other. I don't know nobody on this block. It's I'm living in a neighborhood. I don't live in a community.
Mm.
What saved me living in LA where I don't feel detached from people that look like me is Leimert Park. And that's why I
Ooh.
go there on the weekends, because that is the only feel of community that I feel comparable to a New York or even a Chicago
Yeah.
feel, where there's people that look like me, and also the exchange of black dollars, because we're all
Yeah.
business owners and we all have some dope products and we're supporting each other,
Yeah.
and people that come there come to support us because they know that we're there. But honestly, I can't name another part that feels like a community where
Mm.
people actually give a shit. Even on in Leimert Park, there's dynamics there, but even us as vendors and business owners, we know like, oh, that's so and so spot. I'm gonna be respectful of that's her space, and I'm not gonna set up there. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? To me, that's a feel of a community, because that's what community does.
Yeah.
On a whole, we live in neighborhoods. We don't talk, we don't communicate, we don't look at each other. And social media has ruined that even more, because a lot of people don't even know how to talk to each other because
Yes.
we're so busy on our phone. And me, I could say I'm probably guilty of it to a certain extent, but everybody know that I'm the type of person that if my phone died, they be like, why your phone always die? Because I really don't give a shit. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Hmm.
Sometimes I just want to not have the phone, okay?
Yes.
And I don't care. I really feel like if I've talked to my son, and this sounds selfish, I don't care. If I've talked to my son and I know he's good, I don't care about the phone. Because nobody needs to get in touch with me or me with them unless it's my son. That's really it. And my brother, okay? Everybody else, I'm sorry, got to be secondary. If phone died, because that's my son is my first priority ever in life. And once I know that he's good, I don't care about that phone. It's just it's sometimes I let it die and I don't care about it dying. Because I need to detach from it.
Yes.
It's a lot. Um, I don't even know. I know maybe two people phone numbers, my sons and my brothers. You know what I'm saying? But it's sad because, when we had back in the day when we didn't have a phone, we had to
Remember
remember
people's
people's phone,
numbers.
or you wasn't making no calls. You had your black book. I'm going to call so and so in the black book. Now you lose your phone, it's over, it's done. Because now you don't got nobody phone number. And it's disastrous. But I think even dating, the whole online dating thing, is scary because you don't meet people genuinely. People don't talk. You don't really get to know the person. All these things are just social experiments, that
Yes.
I feel like tearing us up even more, because we're not meeting people like how we used to meet them. You go to an
Yes.
art gallery, you meet somebody, you talk to people. People don't know how to talk to people no more. And you try to talk,
Yes.
they look at you like you're an alien or something. Like, oh, okay. That's why I miss New York, because New York is the type of place you could be walking down the street and you're forced to meet people because you're in close proximity. You go to a
Yes.
bodega, you're meeting people because you're walking and you're meeting people. You're on the train, you're meeting people. It's just an interactive city. It's a social city. Then you come here, and it's like everybody's in their car, everybody's driving, everybody's so spread out. You ain't gonna see
Yes.
nobody for weeks because that person lives in the valley and they don't want to drive to see you because it's traffic and you ain't meeting nobody. You don't want to go nowhere because and it just becomes like just weird. Like, but Leimert Park is that place where I'm like, you know what? I've been in the house all week. Go there. Because then at least I get to talk to people, and people know I love to talk, so I can talk for a long time because that's my human interaction.
Yes.
You know, that's me talking to people and knowing, getting to know people, and you know, yeah, that means a lot.
Yes. Ultimately, at the end of the day, when it comes down to life and how we're living it, connections and relationships are very important. As much as we talk about being able to be independent and do things on our own, again, a lot of those relationships and connections are is what really builds us up, as well as help define us and help us really understand ourselves even more. So if we push away from it and we keep away from it innately, there's still something inside of you that that craves for that and wants for that, because it's vital for us to survive.
Yeah. I mean, it's great to be independent, but honestly, I'm kind of over that too. Because I mean, like yeah. Nah, man, I want somebody that I could travel with. I travel by myself. And I love that aspect that I'm, could be fearless and all these things. But,
Yeah.
I don't want to be doing this my whole life by myself, independent. Even independent, like, even when I think about filmmaking, like, I would say I've been independent so long and raising my son on my own and all these things that, I'm stepping out on the asking for help to make this film, and
Mm-hmm.
even with my last film, stepping out of my comfort zone because I did a Kickstarter for the last film, Afraid of Dark, about the black men to raise the money for post production. But this time, I'm raising the money for production and post production, and the hardest thing has been stepping out of my comfort zone of being independent and asking for
Yeah.
help. And yeah, I was on a podcast. The sisters on here, Brandy, she interviewed me when the Kickstarter first
Yeah.
started, and I feel like she really helped me push forward because as artists, you're in your head
Yeah.
a lot, and just ask people, you know what I'm saying? Because all they could say is no, or all they could say is um they not interested. And when I tell you, I don't know what I'm at right now. I'm be scared to look because I got 4 days left to raise 15,000. But that the money that I know that I'm over 50% funded.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen by me posting, because the posting is 1% of the people.
People.
It's me texting people. Like, I'm sorry, I may not have time to call you, but look, can you donate? And if you say no, I'm good. If you say yes, and we haven't talked in a long time, it's good intentions behind it. Calling people, hey, think you could donate? Yesterday, I'm at Thanksgiving, and look, even though I don't really celebrate,
Yeah.
I drove to see my auntie because my aunts are getting older. My other aunt passed like last month. My mother's no longer here. My dad's no
Mm-hmm.
longer here. So I'm really intentional, like when it comes to sitting with the elders. So I drove out to San Diego, and it was so amazing and beautiful to see my auntie, who's about to be 83, and spend time with my
Wow.
cousins. But don't think that they didn't get the pitch.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, I like to intervene real quick. Y'all know I have a Kickstarter and da 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 da, and I got 2 donations. So today, when I get off this, we back to the
Yep.
texting. I got 4 days left, and I need some money. Can you do a $10 donation? Because $10, $5, $1. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I still got probably $7,000 to make, so I have to be real.
Intentional.
No F's
Mm-hmm.
given, and go hard, because if I don't, I'm not going to reach my goal. And I've taken out Facebook ads. I've done thinking of creative ways. Ooh, let me do a giveaway, or ooh, let me post and it's like, really, the heart of fundraising is just asking everybody you know, even people you don't know, and don't put feelings into it. And that's the one thing that I have to learn, because Kickstarter is all or nothing. So if you don't
Mm,
ask, it's you gotta be very just you can't care. You have to be intentional and can't care. I'm like, people told me to call them today. I'm gonna be calling them. Hey, got 4 days left. What can you do? Texting, doing that. I did another email blast, because I'm telling people to share it,
yes.
and that's all I could do is meditate on it and see it happening. That's what I've been doing, seeing it. Oh, the energy, feeling of gratitude. I got it, and I'm trying to just do it all, do it all. Just,
Yes.
I don't want to miss the money. So yeah, it's been an interesting ride.
Yes. Since you're on it, before I even get into fun questions, I think it's just right about now that you go ahead and just continue talking more about the Kickstarter, your reasons of why starting it, and
Yeah.
your intentions with the Kickstarter. So go ahead.
Like I said, I raised money before on Kickstarter, and I know there's other crowdfunding platforms,
Yeah.
like Seed and Spark and all these other ones, whatever the names are.
Indiegogo, etc.
Indiegogo,
Yeah.
right, right. The reason why I picked Kickstarter is, one, because it's an all or nothing campaign, and it forces you to be fearless. It forces you to. I've done Indiegogo before, and I didn't have the same fuel. I feel like, because I know it's all or nothing,
Yeah.
and it's only 30 days to raise the money. Um, I've been just pushing through it, just hard with it. That's why
Yes.
I decided to do Kickstarter. Another reason is crowdfunding. I don't have 15,000 to make the short film. Like a lot of
Mm,
people that get producers, and the producers get the money to make the film. I don't have that. So producers will come along the way, and help me with paperwork and this and that once I'm in production of the film.
yeah.
But for now, it's me,
Yeah.
and it's my vision, and I wrote it. So, and I have to pay people.
Yeah.
So until I get the team, even when you get the team, people want to get paid. The cinematographer, the actors, SAG actors, the wardrobe, all those things cost money.
Yeah.
I'm shooting in a school, house, all these things cost money. So that's the purpose of the Kickstarter. And crowdfunding is basically people that you know and don't know who believe in your vision.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. People don't understand it. Thing is about Kickstarter is they're really big on people coming together to rally for you, because nobody's card is charged until you reach the goal.
Go.
So it's kind of like people are pledging and saying that they believe in you. I believe in this project. And the people that believe in that project are going to get a perk. And then once you reach your goal, then they're going to be charged the money on the card.
Yeah.
That's the hardest shit to convey to people.
Yeah.
People say, I don't get paid till next week. But they're not taking the money till the 29th or the 1st.
Yeah.
But I know, I get it. A lot of people don't have money. We're in the time period where the economy is horrible.
Yeah.
And the thing about Kickstarter, you could donate $1. And 15,000 people donated $1. And I know that's easier said than done, right?
Done.
I don't even think I know 15,000 people. Um, but I feel like all these people on Facebook, and all these people that people get so caught up into, all the friends on my Facebook, and all these followers, and
Yeah.
are these followers converting to
Yeah.
sales? Are these followers and friends converting to helping you get to a certain point? And at the end of the day, they're not.
Mm, mm,
They're not. They're not. It's just something to show and something to see, and it's something to make you feel good. Oh, these people are following me, this and that and that. But they're not. They're not your advocates. They're following you. A lot of people follow you to watch you and see what you're
yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
They have no interest in investing in you. And it's like, that's what you realize. There are some that do. Don't get me wrong. But when we get so caught up, I got 1 million followers, I got 1 million followers, and then you struggling to sell your product. I know a lot of people that got millions and millions of followers, and they're like influencers and things like that, and they have to keep it going to get these sales and this money and stuff. But yeah, I just feel like it's just
Yeah.
numbers. sometimes just numbers. Um, the real people that are going to invest in you and believe in you are sometimes those people that follow you, but it's really people that you know, and it's
Yes.
people that they know. That's why I be like, share it, share it, share it, share it. Because even if people say, sorry, I don't have the money, but I'll share it, trust and believe that means the world to me. Because although you don't have it, maybe your friend got it, or maybe their friend got it. So sharing is caring. Sharing it is, to me, golden.
Yeah.
Even if you say you'll share it, means a lot. In the campaign so far, I feel like 15 people have shared it. When Logic did the video of me, I think I got a lot of shares that, and I don't know if they have converted or not yet,
Yeah.
but that means a lot. Sharing the message is important. So yeah. It's
Beautiful.
down to the wire. It feels scary because I have 4 days, and if I don't reach the goal, I don't get any money at all
Mm,
because it's all or nothing. And people like, well, what they gonna do? Keep the money? No, because they never took the money.
yeah.
They never took it out your account. So um, yeah, I have 4 days to raise. I believe, I don't even know where I'm at
Yeah.
because I didn't check.
Okay.
I think last night I was at 7,800, which is great because I'm halfway there
Yes.
in 4 days. Now, what I realized last time I did a Kickstarter is a lot of those donations came in at the last minute, and I'm praying that that'll happen again.
So if y'all hear this now, please go and support. Even if you can't, please share. I'm gonna be sharing some of this after too. But if you have anything, $1 to, if you want to just fund the whole thing, please do. If we
But
got our
also, we're
hidden
for
benefactor somewhere.
we're looking for executive producers and producers.
Okay.
Now, these come with different levels because those are special. Associate producer is $500 and executive producer is 1,000. But you get all those perks. But IMDb credits are very important to if you want to be a producer or an executive producer, seeing that. But also in the film, you will see that. But also, um, so far, some of the executive producers and associate producers are going to possibly be in the film because they're actors. So, who knows? You could even get a walk on role. You can even be in the film if you're in LA.
Yeah.
So that's the importance of also being a producer, an associate producer, an executive producer. If I had 7 executive producers right now
Yeah.
that said, "Look, I want to do this," my film would be funded, and then I could relax.
Well,
But
we putting it out there.
we putting it out there. Even if I got 10 associate producers that said, look, $500, I want to do this because I see that this is going to go somewhere. Hey, Jay. And, but, yeah, this is me walking into the film world and not leaving documentaries because I'm going to always love documentaries. It's like the activist in me. But also, this film is a part of being an activist too because it's talking about something,
Yes.
and it's waking people up. And maybe it'll be used in schools, maybe it'll be used in colleges, maybe it'll be used to change policies, make people think. I don't know about that yet. I'm not that far in my head. But right now, this film is important because it is about gun violence
Yes.
and something that we've all been directly affected by, whether we know it or not. Everybody
Yes.
knows somebody that has been affected by gun violence. And for me, I remember being, I think I was like 8, maybe 9. My mom's friend son was babysitting my brother and I. And we were
Yes.
talking about this yesterday at my auntie's house because he was the type that he would pull out a gun. It would be like, he pulled a gun on my cousin, a BB gun, and put it up to his head and was like, have you ever been shot before? Okay, my
Yes.
cousin told me that yesterday, and I was like, for real?
Mm.
Well, look, for me and my brother, he pulled out a gun to play Russian roulette. Okay,
Mm.
and we was like, wow, mom, we don't want to go back over there because he had a gun. She was like, he had a gun? Was it real? Yes, we saw him, he was playing it with us. Literally months later, he killed in months. It could have been a year. He ended up
Yeah.
killing his sister playing Russian roulette, and that was my first
Woo.
um with gun violence. Is he murdered his sister, and it wasn't intentional, but yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Wow. I see you in here, Jay, too. Yeah, please wrap up with
yeah.
mine and go ahead. Yes, go for it. Man, thank you for sharing that and being open as you like you have throughout the interview, because it's important. I think because of the fact that people forget how close to home it can get, it's important that again we're bringing out that awareness. But since you started touching on the activism piece, I know I said I had some fun questions. We might just end with the fun questions, but since you were already rolling into it, like, yeah, give me your thoughts on, being an activist towards not only your voice but also bringing things to light.
Yeah. I feel like I've always been an activist. One, because the whole reason why I did the magazine when I was younger, Burning Ovaries, was because I was assaulted, sexually assaulted,
Mm,
you know. Um, so that was my way of breaking out of that, and sharing my voice with other women and being enraged about it. And going to a college at the time that didn't really have fraternities and sororities, because when I saw the rape statistics of people that's in sororities and things like that, it deterred me from being a part of that. Um,
mm,
that was my way of being an activist. I was a part of this. I'm trying to think. So I had my magazine Burning Ovaries, but I was a part of Sister Serpents, which
hmm,
was like this radical feminist group that if they saw billboards, like back then, Kate Moss was a big Calvin Klein model, and she would often be topless, throw paint at it, and
okay.
deface it. You know, they were very like, and I was with it. I was on rallying with, you know what I'm saying? That was like that part of me. Or Take Back the Night,
Oh,
women
okay.
marching on college campuses, talking about, rape victims and how this happens on campuses and people don't see it, and then from being an activist against gun violence to being an activist against police brutality.
Reality.
New York, I was a part of a Cop Watch, Malcolm X grassroots movement, where we drove around in the car and drove around the neighborhood. And whenever we saw a young person with the police, we would jump out the car and go up to them and get them literature and be like, why are you talking to a child that's underage? You know that their parents supposed to be here. And we'll tell them, do you know your rights? Um, and yeah, I just feel like I've always been a person for things that's happening.
Yeah.
Um, I remember even back then in high school, I was a part of that. Remember the No Blood for Oil? This was years ago,
Oh
but
wow.
when that first Middle East, peace in the Middle East, that terminology came apart, it was this No Blood for Oil. I just remember that being a big chant, No Blood for Oil, because it was something dealing with the Middle East and the war and all that. I remember I went to a protest and was rallying, and the next day I went to my job and they fired me because I was on TV with that protest.
Wow.
And I just feel like I've always been, both my parents were very black. My mother was very intentional to giving, and my brother had to remind me of this, giving us black names. My mother named me after Maya Angelou.
Mm,
My brother was named after Sunni Ali. My brother's name is Sunni Ali. My dad named him that. My dad wore dashikis and, intentional on his afro, if he could get his hair into an afro, and my grandmother and things like that. So my mother made sure we had black doctors, went to black schools. That was what my mother was very intentional on, having us surrounded by that, black neighborhood. Black Chicago, as you know, very segregated even now. So
mm,
Chicago was always like, honestly, I didn't see white folks until I went to Vanderpool in 8th grade.
Oh wow.
Couldn't see white people because I lived in a black neighborhood. Everybody around me was black, black stores, black, living on the south side, black, 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 black. My mother was very intentional. This, you're gonna know who the hell you are, you know. Um,
Yes.
and yeah, so I was always I had my moments of doubting being black because you know, in the media, all they show is white folks, and it glorifies you being something other than black. You know what I'm saying? Um, but coming back to it, my parents were very intentional that my brother and I knew who we were.
Yeah.
So I've been an activist since a long time, whether it's female rights and this, that, gun violence. So I feel like all my stories that I write have it in some way, you know, shows it in some way, because that's just who I am. Yeah.
Mm, very important. And again, it paints the picture and tells the story, and it makes a lot of sense for why you do what you do and your why behind
Mm-hmm.
what you do it also for. But with that, before we get done with the interview, I'd like to do this segment that I like to call fun questions. It may be fun to you, may not be fun to you, but it's for other folks.
Oh,
But shouts out to everybody that's been in here,
thank
popping in, sharing their
you.
thoughts, the love. Again, please go and support Mya B. We'll plug everything at the end because at the end of the day, this awareness piece is important that we speak on and talk about because we forget a lot of the things, but that's why we're here. We're all here together to remind ourselves to start building that community wherever we are.
Yeah.
So, the first fun question I got for you is a would you rather question.
Okay, nice.
And anybody else in the comments, y'all can also join in and put your answers towards this stuff too. So, make it fun and interactive. Go for it. So, they're long ones because I just like doing long ones. Just how it goes. It's off the top. So, first one would you rather, remember the first one, have the ability to solve all the problems in the world but you can't interact with anyone.
Oh,
So that's the first one. Or build a foundational vision and movement that will solve future problems effortlessly, but you won't be able to see those results in your lifetime. So again, would you rather be able to solve all the problems now but don't talk into anybody, or build a movement and a vision that will solve future problems but you won't be there to see it?
yeah, I'm gonna go with the later part.
Mm, why is that?
It's like you've built a legacy, and now you could die peacefully and know that it's still carrying on without you. Yeah.
There it is. Anybody else, y'all put them down in the comments too. Share with it. Off the cuff, random. Three reasons why summer is fun.
Summer is fun because nobody. Well, no, let me not say that. I'm thinking of teachers because you're off of work. Summer is fun because it's hot.
Mm-hmm.
Summer is fun because, um, well, summer in New York is fun as shit because that's when all the free shit and all the concerts and all the neighborhood block parties and all the things happen. And I just,
Mm, mm, mm.
yeah.
Again, I appreciate the answers. Same thing to y'all. Three three reasons why summer is fun in there. All right, next one. Three stores that are your go-to places to shop.
um, yeah, I I love free people.
Okay.
I love free people because it's that hippie feel. I love let me see, where else do I go? Free people. Uh I like some things at Urban Outfitters,
Okay.
and I love thrift stores and
Okay.
vintage stores. Yeah.
Okay. I'm with it. All right.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that a lot of this stuff is not just only, it's a lot of mom and popping, like, smaller versus these big corporations and companies and stuff, besides Urban Outfitters to a certain extent.
Sometimes they
But
have
nice.
nice stuff. I like Urban Outfitters back in the day when they had like shoes. I like the little stuff, the little trinkets they have, like the record players, records, things like
Mm,
um, but sometimes you could catch some really good deals with them. Yeah, yeah. I like Melissa too. I know that's the fourth one. Maybe people don't know who
okay.
Melissa is. Listen,
I'm a first.
they make the best shoes that are plastic. They're from Brazil, and they often team up with amazing designers like Vivian Westwood and other designers, and they make plastic shoes. So
Mm.
I love their shoes, and they have good sales. So.
Okay. Beautiful. There it is. Last one I got for you. It's finish this line. So you finish it with however you want to, add to it. It's very short, but whatever pops into mind, you finish it. So finish this line. When you get on the road.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm saying it's very short. When you get on the road, I know.
Okay, when you get on the road to success, never look back. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And sometimes
Mm,
you're gonna keep going, and even if ain't nobody with you in the car,
mm,
reach your destination.
beautiful. Beautiful. I'm with it. Man. But that has been around for fun questions. Hopefully they were fun. I mean, I know it's fun for myself to hear the answers. Y'all
Yeah.
more than welcome to go back, listen if y'all want to share your answers and stuff to these questions as well. But I appreciate you, Maya, for joining me in on those fun questions.
You.
Before we end out on the interview, I do want to give you your flowers and appreciate you for coming on, being open and sharing and really being vulnerable, not only about your art, your past, your, future to be, and, just your intentions on really getting out the message and being in the awareness and that key piece to not just only just building the community of like-minded individuals, but wanting to share that out to others. So I want to give you your flowers and thank you so much for what you have done and will continue to do.
Thank you. And my last thing is like, if you have watched this and if you care about real storytelling and stories, please support the Kickstarter because I have 4 days left. It
Yes.
is an all or nothing campaign, which means that all the money I've raised so far, if I don't reach my goal, I get absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you don't have the funds, just share the message, share it out to as many people as you can because right now it's crunch time and
Yes.
I have 4 days left to make $15,000.
Yeah.
So thank you.
And push those four strong days. So let's get
Yes.
it. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks
How
for
I
having
like
me on your
this.
show.
No problem. Before I do, this is my favorite question I like to end with before we do. Um, for all the folks that's out there, appreciate y'all for coming, for sharing, and again, being here to, get here on this interview. But the question I like to leave everybody with, and this is to you as well, when it comes to your life, your goals, passions, family, all those things combined together, is it the quality of those things or is it the quantity of those things?
I'm going to say it's the quality because, I mean, even when I think about my friends that I've had over the years, we're not going to talk all the time on the phone.
Yeah.
We're not. And I just hope that people that know me really know me because there's going to be times where we have periods where we don't speak on the phone, but trust and believe if some shit is happening, I'm that one that's going to come and help you. Know me.
Mm,
I'm going to be there. If you going through some shit, call me. I may not be available every day. We talking on the phone every week, but there's still love, and that's when quality time. That's it. Not counting. Oh, she don't call me. They ain't
yeah.
talking. You know, there's still love. You know,
Yeah.
you see your family members. My son live in Atlanta now. I talk to him. I try to talk to him every day, but if I don't talk to him every day, I know that he's still there.
Yeah.
You know, we not there all the time, but once we get together, it is quality time that we're spending together. And I think that even when you think about relationships and maybe, you know, you got to always very cherish the moment that
Yes.
you're in as opposed to complaining about the time and the time spent. I think it's really about the quality of time and sharing, you know. So, yeah.
Yeah. Hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I cut out.
I guess my headphones had just went out on me, so I
Oh,
had like missed the last part. But again, I thank you for sharing that. And it is really vital and important that, again, I know everybody has a busy life. Everybody has something that's going on. And even if you're not able to get to them at every single, time, but just those moments in time that you do to really cherish those and really be grateful for those before it is gone and inevitably, they'll
Yeah,
just be other.
everybody don't live forever.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
I, they don't live forever. This is just on another note. I had a friend that was in Cuba, and um, last time I was in Cuba, I was with my godfather, and I I knew that she had moved, but I didn't know where she lived. And literally, I was in Havana walking, and this guy came up to me, and I don't even know how she came up, but I told him that I knew her because she was the hip hop ambassador of Cuba,
Oh.
right? She was in exile over there. And I was like, man, I really would like to see her, but I was with my god sisters and I didn't see her. Like he was like, I can take you to her right now, and I didn't go. And then I found out that she transitioned, and I'm like still hurt by it because I
Mm,
wish that I would have went to see her, you know, but I didn't. But yeah, that was just when I'm talking about valuing, cherishing the moment,
yes.
because you don't know. Life is not promised to
Yes.
us. Um, yeah, just be intentional with your moves and the people that you love. Even if it's just checking in. It may not be a phone call.
Yeah.
Yesterday I was just telling people I appreciate them and I'm grateful for you being in my life.
Yes.
That's all I don't really celebrate Thanksgiving,
Same.
but I'm grateful for the people that I've met, So
Yes. Exactly. But again,
yeah.
thank you
Thank
so much, Mya B, so much for coming through and sharing and again being open and vulnerable for the stuff to share. Again, for y'all, please go and support. There's 4 days left for the Kickstarter. I'm gonna put a lot of this stuff up. Please make sure if you can support whatever you got, and if not, please pass on the word and the message because at the end of the day, it's vital that we get this stuff out, and it don't always have to be coming from up top because necessarily they don't really care too much about these messages because we continue to get reboots of reboots to reboots and there's so much other things that could be talked about. So please go and support Mya B when you can. And any other last words you want to say before we go?
Nope. All I can say is Karen is sharing, and that goes in so many ways. Like, yeah, care about the people that's in your life, because yeah.
I got there it
Thank
is.
you.
But again, Mya, thank you so much. This has been another episode and installment of more interviews. We'll have more to come, memoirs of our real experiences. And as we go, thank you all for coming through
Thank you.
and continue to write your memoirs and experiences so that you can keep growing and keep sharing your life. With that, y'all, we're out until next time.
Peace.
Peace.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Peace.